welcome to Boddington Shooter News. We're here with Dennis Treadwell of Treadwell Designs. We're just going to have a brief conversation about how he got started, some of the exotics he works in, and why his handcrafting matters. So, Dennis, how did you get started?
Hey, Conrad, it's good to see you. Well, I started doing leather work back, wow, quite a few years ago, just mending harnesses and doing some saddle work. About 15 years ago, I got into doing some custom holsters. And the main reason is that I couldn't find what I wanted for the price I wanted to pay. When I started getting into the handmade custom stuff, the prices went up really steeply. So I kind of decided I was going to venture into it myself and started building rigs that I was wearing when I was doing the cowboy action shooting and the cowboy mounted shooting. And pretty soon people saw what I was wearing, asked where I got them, and I started building them for other people.
Tell me about the exotics.
Well, one of the things that I've gotten into, as again, I started in the cowboy Western world and was doing very traditional rigs, um, for the single actions. As I got further into it, I decided that I wanted to do something that was a little different. So I started working with exotic leathers. I have some examples here in front of me. This one here is actually an ostrich skin. In order to use something like an ostrich skin, I actually have to laminate it to a layer of cowhide, and then I will stitch through both layers and makes it more durable that way. I also work in things like this one is alligator, which is a great hide to work with. It's pretty durable, and you got all different types of patterns. That was actually the belly. So it's got a pebble finish. You get into the back, like on this long wallet, and you start getting into that horn finish, which is kind of the more traditional look for alligator. And then last year I brought in a 14-foot Burmese black python skin, and I've been doing some custom stuff with that. It's a beautiful hide to work with. This one is actually for a custom Security 6. It's a beautiful kind of Sunday gun, so it deserved a Sunday holster. And again, this one is Python. It's had the scales removed. You still have that pattern, but the scales will eventually flake off. So they've been removed in order to use the hide for this purpose. And again, it has to be laminated to a cowhide in order to make it durable enough.
Interesting. So, when it comes to hand making these holsters and cartridge wallets, where does that really matter?
Well, the thing I like about it is I like sticking to the traditional old school way of making things. I actually have a leather stitching machine, and it's sitting up on the shelf behind me there. And I think I've used it twice in the last 2 years. I do everything by hand using staking tools to set my stitching widths. And then I hand stitch everything using a saddle stitch. Basically, I'm using two needles going in opposite directions. That ties everything together really tightly, makes the holsters more durable. And again, it's a nod to those cowboy days where things were made the way they were supposed to be made. I also go in and I hand crease everything when I'm doing a fitted holster. Maybe something like this one here, where you can see that the holster is actually formed to the shape of the gun. I go in there with a piece of elk antler and will actually rub in there onto the wet leather, form it into the shape of the gun so that it fits more precisely and actually looks a little better. But again, I like doing it because it's the way it used to be done, and there's plenty of places out there that are doing the mass-produced, stamps, holsters. They can put them out, hundreds at a time. I like doing mine one at a time and making sure they're right, making sure that they're authentic to the period and that they fit the guns perfectly.
Wonderful. Yeah, I know the one you made for me has just been a beautiful addition. Where can people find you?
Well, right now I do pretty much everything by word of mouth. Or I do have a Facebook page at Treadwell Design Concepts, where they can locate my stuff and send me a message. My wait times are pretty long usually because I do them one at a time by hand. But if somebody wants something custom and they're willing to wait for it, I'm willing to build it.
Very good. Well, thanks for your time.
You bet.